Yo, what it do, y'all? Welcome back to part two of this maybe 4 or 5 video series on how to use a multimeter to test your hydraulic and electrical. In this video, we're going to go over testing your solenoids and trying to check to see if they're good or bad with your multimeter. Let's dive right into it. All right, so the first things first, you might want to find someone to help you in this section if you don't have a hopper switch. I have mine right there plugged in, and you're probably wondering, like, yo, what he got on his hopper switch? I've said this before, and a lot of people don't know this. Even though this is a 4-pump system, I can turn one of my pumps off and use this car as just a single pump. It's probably blowing y'all minds right now. Actually, if you look at my Instagram, that one video where I was hopping that said Hop Dog did it, I was running this as a single pump. Believe it or not. Only one of these pumps was working. So, with that being said, I can turn one of my pumps on and off and just use this as a single pump. But what I was getting at is, what you want to do is you want to take your noids, take the cable off on the pump side, okay? Not the battery side, not where your battery comes into your noids, but where the cable goes out from the noids to the pump. You want to take those two off, or one, or whatever. Take it off, just so when you're hitting that switch, you know you don't have no power running to this pump. You ain't got it jumping around or doing any of that. All right, so on this one, we're not going to use the voltage setting. You can, and I'm going to show you how to use the voltage setting, but you're mainly going to use the continuity setting. So we're going to move over to this little like sound bar, sound wave thing, and we're going to use continuity. First of all, let me show you what continuity does. All continuity does is it shows that it's completing a circuit. So it'll actually, you can turn it off, but it'll actually beep when something's completing a circuit as such. You hear that? So in the solenoid terms, if a solenoid was stuck, I believe closed is when it's actually activated. So if it's stuck closed, that means there's a constant circuit going through the solenoid. So when you put these leads on the solenoid, it'll actually go, which shows a bad solenoid. But a bad solenoid can also not beep, but we'll go over that here shortly. You don't have to use a multimeter for this. If you have a test light, which looks like one of these, you can use those also, but I'm not going to go into that. Russel Harris, Tennessee on Hydraulics, has a great video on that. That's actually how I learned to use one of those test lights. I'll put the link to his video in the description below. But for this video, we're on multimeters. So to test your noids, what you want to do is you want to take your leads and you want to put it on opposite ends of the noid. And what I mean by that is you don't want to put them on the same side. So if I put my alligator clip on that side and then put it on the same side, you hear it beep, because that is already a connection. Okay, there's no break in that connection. What, they probably couldn't hear me, but that's already a connection. There's no break in that connection. What I mean by a break is inside the solenoid, there's a spring-loaded clip or whatever, which touches another piece of metal up here on the starter point, which completes that circuit and allows the electricity to flow through this. When you're not hitting that switch, it's stuck. It's not stuck, but it's open, and electricity can't flow through. So that's a break. So what I mean, again, put it on each end of the solenoid, and it shouldn't go beep. Now, again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a good noid, but that's a way to check it. That is a sign to know that your noids aren't bad. So let's just say one of these noids were bad. Let's say this noid was bad here. When I connect these, it'll go beep, beep. That shows that noid is bad. I don't have any bad noise to show y'all, but that's kind of the best I can do, and I hope y'all get the understanding of that. So to check another noise, you want to move it over to the other section. And with continuity, there's no polarity on this, so it doesn't have to be like red on one side or black on the other. There's no like electrical polarity, so it doesn't matter. All it's doing is checking for electrical flow. That's all it's doing. So to check another noise, just move it over, vice versa. All right, that's how you do that. So we're going to go into the other half of this video. Like I said, remember I said that even if the noid doesn't beep, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good noid. All right. So you have to use the voltage side to check that. And that's where I say you have to have someone to help you, or you have to have a hopper switch, or you have to have some sort of switch in your trunk, whether it's makeshift or something, to help you hit the switch and see the voltage going through your noise. I'll get that set up and I'll get started on that. All right, all right. Put your multimeter on the volt side. All right. Go ahead and plug your ground up, your quick disconnect, because you need that plugged up. Make sure that your pumps are not connected. You want to take the cable off on the pump side of your noise. Make sure they're not connected. Okay. Plug your leads up. You want to put the positive on the side where your pump cable will go to your pump. And then you just want to ground this one out. Okay. You can put it, I don't know, anywhere on the ground. Just find the ground and connect it to. I don't know if I can get it on here because part of it's painted. But I'll try. Okay, so let's ground it out. So you want to ground that out. Now you're going to take your switch and you're going to hit your switch. All right? You just want to hit it a little bit. News. All right, my phone had died, so I got news for y'all. One of my noids was blown, and that's why my car wasn't hopping at its full potential. Let's hop right into this. So you're probably like, well, in the previous part of the clip, he said for it to be blown, it has to go beep. And you're right. That's one part of it. But that's how we test on the voltage part also, because they can lie to you. As I showed y'all that this noid here, I figured out was blown. So we're going to put this back on continuity. All right. We're going to go through. We're going to hook these up. Let's see if it beeps. I don't think it will. So it's not beeping, but that noid is blown. All right. We're going to switch this back over to the voltage side. Okay, we're going to ground this back out. You can ground it here or you can ground it on your battery. Okay, because this is the ground. This is part of your rack. And we're going to hit the switch. All right. We'll hit the switch. We'll see what it does. 100 volts. All right. So that noid's good. We got electricity. That noid's opening up. We getting allowing electricity to flow and so forth. You don't want to put it back here because, again, remember on the continuity, this is still connected. So it's still going to show you 100 volts when you hit it. See? Or whatever your voltage is. You want to jump it to the other side so you can bypass that break. Nothing. See that? Nothing. That noise fried. We'll go over to my good set of noids here and we'll do the same thing. Hit the switch. 74 volts. All right. Move over to the other side. Hit the switch. 74 volts. That noid's good. Okay, it's allowing electricity to open. It's allowing itself to close or open up, whatever, allowing that electricity to flow through. We're going to connect it to the last side, which goes from the noids to the pump. We're going to hit the switch. That noid may be fried. Could be. Or I have a bad connection somewhere. Which I was just out hitting switches, so I don't think it's fried, but you never know. This stuff is so tricky. So temperamental. So that noid, there's a possible chance that noid may be fried also. But yeah, that's how you can test that. You see how the voltage didn't go through, it didn't open up? That's how you test that with the voltage. Boom, so that's how you check your noids with a multimeter using either the continuity setting or the voltage setting. It's not too complicated. I hope y'all learned something from this portion of the video series, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next section, which will be you can test switches with these multimeters also. You would test those by either voltage or you can use continuity also. Personally, I use continuity. That'll tell you a lot. Continuity is the main one, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this section up. Before I go, make sure you check out the TIPPINONTHREE website. You find all your latest Lowrider merchandise from hats, t-shirts, stickers. We got more items coming. I got more stuff to load on there. That'll be hoses and a bunch of other stuff. All this gear is made by Lowrider, for Lowriders. Made by me, TIPPINONTHREE, obviously. The link will be in the description below. Definitely check it out. Yeah, that's that. I'm going to wrap it up. Peace.